Okay.
We have the poem She Walks in Beauty by Lord Byron. Nick.
No, this is
Our poem is called She Walks in Beauty by Lord Byron.
She Walks in Beauty by Lord Byron. She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that's best of dark and bright meet an aspect in her eyes. Thus mellowed that tender light, which heaven to gaudy day denies.
One shade the more, one ray the less, had half impaired the nameless grace, which waves in every raven tress, or softly lightens o'er her face, where thoughts serenely One shade the more, one ray the less, had half impaired the nameless grace, which waves in every raven tress. Or softly lines o'er her face, where thoughts serenely sweet express how pure, how dear their dwelling place.
And on that cheek and o'er that brow, so soft, so calm, yet eloquent, the smiles that win, the tints that glow, but tell of days in goodness spent, a mind at peace with all below, a heart whose love is innocent.
We will now break it down by stanzas.
I don't know, but that changed my life.
Did it change your life? It's an emotional poem. Okay.
No, I think really it's pretty though.
So, would you like to reread?
First stanza, let's go from first stanza.
First stanza, okay. So it says, she walks in beauty like the night, of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes, thus mellow to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies. I shouldn't have reread that because you probably weren't paying attention anyway.
Okay, so if we look in the first line, it says she walks in beauty like the night. It's a very...
I just said that.
Okay. In that line, it's comparing her to the night.
Really? Is it?
Which is very different than how you would usually compare someone, which is different than how you would maybe compare to someone of beauty. You would, like Shakespeare says, the summer day. Somebody is beautiful like spring.
I think the first stanza is talking about the contrast of beauty and light and dark, and it's kind of foreshadowing.
Put some fertilizer over there.
it's foreshadowing like what's to come in the poem, and he says that all that's best of dark and bright are joined, and her beauty is contrasted to the gaudy daylight. Like, who do you think he wrote this about, Nick?
You?
No,
I think
no.
somebody
Point to me. I pointed. I was like a question.
A lot of women that date. Well, I think.
A lot of.
But something I've learned. A lot of women that time were pale and blonde. And in this later it says she has. It's just, no.
That's really stereotypical.
But this person, so it's very atypical to find somebody who had like brunette hair.
She has raven hair, so it'd be black. It wouldn't be brunette.
Or brown. It's dark hair. So, you know, it's like, there's something special about her, and that is probably not, I mean, like kind of...
Okay.
So she's not like the daylight. There's something about her that makes... There's something romantic about the nighttime and the stars.
Well, we have notes here, so we actually stay on track with what we're talking about. And one of the notes mentions that he saw a lady at a party that he was attending, and he was mesmerized by her startling beauty to such an extent that he wrote this piece of poetry for her. And they also, a lot of people believe that it was actually his cousin who he was writing about, which would be really creepy and incestuous, kind of. But yeah, in the first stanza, he really is trying to contrast brightness and darkness together to describe what the girl actually looks like. And he says that his muse's beauty carries with it the best of both worlds, and it just emanates from her eyes. And feel free to chime in, Nick.
You got this.
The mixing of like the brightness and darkness reproduces a special tender light, which is so heavenly that the mortal world only strives to get a glimpse of it. And her beauty just leaps and bounds in the first stanza.
It says, well, it starts with one shade the more, one ray the less.
Exactly. So back to the contrast.
So it's like she's perfect.
Back to the contrast of lightness and darkness. And
Can I mean the same thing, though?
her beauty is kind of unfolding now. And he's kind of saying, like, if anybody tampers with her beauty, like, just a little, that, it will, like, reduce her grace by half, kind of. And, he can't seem to find, like, an adjective to really describe her besides her looks. And, I don't know, this stanza, he's really detailed about her hair, because he says raven tress, and that means black hair. And his muse has one of those tranquil faces which tell of sweet thoughts and a precious pure mind. So, basically. I feel like this is a solo one-man team project right now. Do you want to move on to the third stanza? I mean, basically this whole poem is about he thinks this girl's really pretty. So.
He's just dwelling in her beauty in it. Kind of every line.
He's dwelling.
And the last stanza.
The third and the last.
And on that cheek and o'er that brow.
More about the face.
So soft, so calm, yet eloquent.
About the face.
The smile that win, the tints that glow.
The face.
But tells of days and goodness spent. Somebody's been to the
A mind at peace with all.
A mind at peace with all below.
Now a mind at peace with all below kind of confused us. Like when we were doing that worksheet, we didn't know that if he thought she was like above everybody else. Like I think on the worksheet we said that she was kind of like up in heaven looking down on everybody because she was so great. But he's kind of saying in the stanza that she's capable of winning anybody's heart. He feels like anybody would want to be with her, or like have her, or anything. And
she's a treasure.
She is a treasure. And when it says the tints that glow is kind of like her blushing, and he's saying it shows like the inner beauty of his muse that she can laugh, and I don't know what she was blushing about, but apparently something.
I mean, she's blushing. I mean, it says her love is innocent, so obviously she hasn't.
Yeah. Well, no.
She's got that. What?
She's got what?
She has that innocent, like, virgin quality, that ingenue, that I think that he finds very attractive.
He does find that attractive, yet he doesn't know her name, or just doesn't want to write her name. I don't know why. Well.
What I love about this poem is it can be used in, I don't know, it can be used for a lot of people.
Just girls, though.
Yeah,
or do you
true.
do you think it could translate to men? A male
well, there's
poem?
a lot of hers in there, but
Well, I mean, not literally.
I just think that the poem is talking mainly about beauty and the beauty that
I do too, because
the beauty
it's in
and
the title.
beauty. She walks in beauty.
She does.
Like the night.
She walks in beauty. What does that mean? She walks in beauty. Not she's beautiful when she walks, but she walks in it. So is beauty like a door?
I think beauty is just herself.
Herself. She
Everything about
walks
her is
with
beauty.
pride and grace and innocence. She is Miss America. Wait, how does that song go?
Miss America.
Yeah, it's like she is the, I don't know. He's just in awe.
I think. A lot of this talks about how nature. Like dealing with the romantic period, this is, I think, a great piece to talk about.
It's a great piece, Mr. Kaiser.
I mean, in every line almost, there's something to do with nature and beauty, and I think nature encompasses beauty, and as well as this woman.
Again, circling back to the title, she walks in beauty. Walking in nature, in beauty. Just wrapping it all together. All in all, this poem is a great poem. It's very short and very nice.
I think something about the wording used is it's very simple.
The word usage. It's very easy to understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's not difficult. I mean, there could be hidden meanings behind all of what he's saying. He could. I mean, he is talking about other things in his beauty. He's seeing what he sees because of the contrast between light and darkness. So he's obviously not talking about just the features on the outside. He's talking about what he feels from the features on the outside. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Do
It's,
you have anything to add, Nick?
I think it's kind of ironic, maybe, how he tying in nature. How he says, which heaven to gaudy day denies. Because, I mean, kind of, he goes on to say his heaven is the sky. So cloudless climes and starry skies. And then he later says, which heaven to gaudy day denies. Something like heaven.
Are you getting somewhere with this?
No. So I feel like he's personifying. There's a lot of use of personification in this poem.
Tis.
So I feel like he views nature as a living, breathing thing, and being that she is a person who's living and breathing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's. I don't know if I would equate nature and love together. I'm wondering if if he's doing that.
Nick, we're supposed to be teaching them, not asking them.
No, I'm just pondering. I'm pondering.
I'm pondering.